Jeff Bezos owns two companies that bet everything on the same rocket. Amazon Leo needs it to catch Starlink. Blue Origin needs it to reach the moon. Last night, on a test stand in Florida, that rocket lit its engines for a few seconds, and then it was a fireball. One bad night, two timelines, both came apart at once. This is Stardrift FM. I run the late shift, where the long stories go. Tonight there's only one, and it's worth the whole slot, because what came apart at Launch Complex 36 wasn't only a rocket. It was a load-bearing wall under three different programs. Here's what happened. On the night of May 28th, around 9 o'clock Eastern, Blue Origin started a static fire test of its New Glenn rocket at Cape Canaveral. A static fire is exactly what it sounds like. You bolt the rocket down, fill it with propellant, and light the first stage engines for a few seconds without going anywhere. It's the last big rehearsal before launch. This rocket was full. New Glenn's first stage carries roughly 2.5 million pounds of liquid methane and liquid oxygen. As the engines came up, something failed at the base, and the whole vehicle went up in a fireball that shook houses along the Space Coast. The booster, and Blue Origin nicknames its boosters. This one was called No, It's Necessary, was gone. So was the second stage, the transporter that rolls the rocket out and one of the two tall lightning towers that frame the pad. Now the part that matters most, so I'll lead with it. Nobody was hurt. The Space Force confirmed every person was accounted for. And the 48 satellites that were supposed to ride this rocket weren't aboard. This was a test. Bezos posted within hours. Very rough day, but we'll rebuild whatever needs rebuilding and get back to flying. It's worth it. Hold on to that line, I'll come back to it. If you've watched this business long enough, last night had a shape you recognize. I've seen it before. September 1st, 2016, Cape Canaveral, Pad 40. SpaceX is running a static fire on a Falcon 9. The rocket is full. During fueling, a breach in a high-pressure helium system tears open the upper stage oxygen tank, and the rocket and its satellite, a communications bird called Amos 6, come apart on the pad. No one was hurt. But that pad was out of service for about 15 months, and SpaceX only kept flying because they had another pad to use. That's the precedent, and it's the one nobody at a press conference says out loud. The fully fueled rehearsal is one of the most dangerous moments in the whole campaign. You're holding millions of pounds of cryogenic propellant in a thin shell, and you're lighting it on purpose. And this isn't New Glenn's first hard month. Back in April, the rocket's third flight failed in the upper stage and didn't deliver an AST Space Mobile satellite to orbit. Blue Origin ran an investigation, listed 9 fixes, got cleared to fly again, and the very next vehicle didn't make it off the test stand. Eric Berger at Ars Technica has made one argument about this company for years, and it isn't that the engineering is weak. It's that the cadence is. 2 failures in 2 months is that problem made visible. So why does a test failure in Florida matter to anyone outside Blue Origin? Because of what was supposed to happen on June 4th. That rocket was getting ready for a mission called NG-4, carrying 48 satellites for Amazon Leo, the constellation you used to know as Project Kuiper. It would have been the most Leo satellites ever launched at once, and the first of 24 New Glenn flights Amazon booked to build its answer to Starlink. Here's the math, and it's unkind. The FCC told Amazon to add half its constellation, 618 satellites, in orbit by the end of July this year. Right now, Amazon has a little over 200 up there. Jonathan McDowell, who keeps the catalog I trust for what's actually in orbit, has the count, and it is nowhere near half. Amazon already saw this coming. Back in February, it asked the FCC for 2 more years, and the reason it gave was a shortage of rockets. And then it lost a rocket. On the pad, with the pad. This is the part I keep turning over. Amazon's problem was never the satellites. Those roll off a production line. The problem was lift. New Glenn was the heavy lifter that was supposed to fix the lift problem. Last night, the fix became part of the problem. Now the part almost nobody led with, and it's the part that decides how long this hurts. Bezos said they'll rebuild whatever needs rebuilding. They will. But listen to the order of difficulty. A rocket is a manufactured thing. Blue Origin can build another New Glenn. It has a factory 9 miles from the pad doing exactly that. Months, not years. The pad is different. Launch Complex 36 was rebuilt from the ground up for more than $1 billion. Finished in 2021, the first brand new pad at the Cape since the 1960s. And it's the only New Glenn pad Blue Origin has. There's no second one to fly from while this one heals. And New Glenn doesn't only carry Amazon satellites. This fall, it was supposed to launch Blue Moon Mark 1, an uncrewed lander headed for the lunar South Pole for NASA. A larger crewed lander, Mark 2, is penciled in for a test flight on New Glenn in 2027, tied into Artemis 3, the mission meant to put people back on the moon. All of it lifts from that one pad. So when Launch Complex 36 went quiet last night, it didn't only stall a broadband constellation. It put a quiet hold on a piece of the moon program. One pad, 3 futures parked on top of it. So back to that line, it's worth it. I don't read that as spin. I think Bezos means it, and the engineering record is on his side. Every program that ever flew reliably has a pile of broken hardware behind it. SpaceX came back from Pad 40. Blue Origin will come back from 36. The hardware isn't the question. The question is time. And time is the one thing none of these schedules had to spare. The FCC clock was already red. The moon plan was already tight. Will rebuild is true. Will rebuild fast enough to keep all 3 timelines is a much bigger claim. And last night made it harder to believe. Here's what I'd hold on to. Nobody got hurt, and the satellites weren't aboard. On a night, a rocket came apart on the pad. That's not nothing. That's the system working where it counts most. The rest is calendars, and calendars, unlike launch pads, can still be moved. That's the story. 1 rocket, 2 companies, 1 pad, and a stack of dates that just slid to the right. I'll be back on the late shift when there's another one worth the whole slot. This has been Stardrift FM.